All right. So let's get started with the ticketing webinar. Let me introduce myself, guys. My name is Gavin, and I'm heading the customer success team at Yapsody. And I'm going to be the host for this webinar. One of the important thing which we are going to discuss in this webinar is like the new features which we have rolled out in this quarter. Plus, we are going to discuss about the additional enhancement which we did in the existing feature, so that you guys can leverage this feature in your existing system. So the agenda of this webinar is about, I'm going to showcase like what Yapsody is. We'll give basic introduction about our team, and then we will take you through the new feature announcement. Also, we are going to talk about best practices and tips, and the current offering which we have for the event presenter. So let me introduce the team right now with me. Hi, Clint. I have Clint with me, and Clint is the customer success specialist. He takes care of new presenter onboarding as well as customer retention.
Hi, hi, Paige. Thank you for joining.
And then I have with me Ronnie. Ronnie is the team leader at product support. He takes care of frontline support team.
Hi, Paige. Thank you for joining the webinar.
Thanks, Ronnie. Thanks, Clint. So before handing it over to Clint, let me give a basic introduction about Yapsody. What is Yapsody? Yapsody is basically a user-friendly and versatile ticketing platform software designed for all kind of event. So, like you may be a presenter who is organizing a museum event, or maybe fairs and festivals, or maybe casino, hotel events, any events you name it. Yapsody gives you a complete event ticketing platform to host that event. Who are we? We are in the industry since last 25 years. Initially, we started with casino, and while catering to casino, we realized that a ticketing platform need to be developed. So we developed that platform, and we are in the industry for last 25 years. We have served more than 50K presenters so far, and sold 9.2 million tickets, and issued 130K event published so far. Now, why we are different from the competition? The why we are different from the competition is like the first important point is easy to use. The user interface which we have designed for organizers, like for you particularly for event presenter, it's very simple. So if you want to sell tickets from box office, you have few steps which you have to follow, and the tickets can be booked immediately. Plus the workflow of the software is so simple that you can self onboard yourself. In the meantime, we have also created online store wherein your buyers can book the tickets very easily. The user interface is also designed in a much more and effective manner. So that's why we are very easy to use. The second benefit we have is customization, tailoring ticket to fit unique needs of each event. So whenever you have any requirements, for example, you want to do some changes in the in your account, let's say you need some reports or you need some customization, if it is possible, we never say no. We do it for the presenters. So that's how we work. So we are very open for the customization. Then comes affordable pricing. If you do benchmarking of our pricing in comparison to other competitor, we are very reasonable with all the rich ticketing features which we offer. And the essential part I would say is direct money comes to your payment gateway. So ideally, if you check out other ticketing platforms, they will have their own payment gateway and they will hold your funds. But in our case, we ensure that you get an opportunity to collect all the funds directly. So we have partnered with many ticketing many payment gateway like Stripe, PayPal, so you can select either one of them, and all the funds can go directly to your payment gateway, and from payment gateway the amount can go to your bank account. Now the biggest advantage here is, like, you can utilize this money for your event expenses, wherein if you go with other ticketing provider, they will hold the fund, and once the event is completed, then they release the fund. So that is the main advantage. And finally, like, we provided 24 by 7 chat support for you as well as for your attendee. So while setting up the event, like if you come across any question, You can chat with our support agent. And also your attendees, while booking the ticket, if they face any challenges, like unable to book tickets, or they're not able to print tickets, etc., they can directly contact our chat support and get assistance. And recently, like, we also launched customer success, wherein whenever like a new presenter comes to us, we provide them a free onboarding service. So we help them to set up the events from our side. And plus we give them private demos. Like, for an example, if you need a personalized demo to understand a particular feature, example, reserve seating, we give you a personalized demo. We teach you how to set up setting charts and all. So that is the additional service we offer under customer success umbrella. So that's why Yapsody is better than the competition, and why one should select Yapsody. So this is about Yapsody. I've given a introduction about Yapsody, the way I do it in all the webinars. Let me directly jump into the exciting things which you have done in this quarter, right, Clint? So we are going to speak about the new feature announcement. So I will hand it over to Clint.
Right. Well, thank you for the warm introduction, Gavin. So, welcome, Paige. And we had this session done earlier as well in the previous quarters regarding the features and enhancements that is supported through Yapsody. And today we're continuing on that path where we've done a furthermore feature releases and enhancements. So the very first one that you get to see is about manual scanning. And this has been a feature in the Yapsody system for a while. But what we have done is we've gone ahead and we've kind of made an enhancement to this existing feature. So to give you a background about it, like, I'll just share an example of why we have done this particular enhancement. So there was a prominent hotel which faced a significant challenge during events that they hosted through their restaurant. And there were groups of guests who frequently purchased tickets to attend these events. But the check-in became very problematic, as there were a lot of tickets that needed to be scanned individually, which was not only time consuming for the presenter, but also for the guest who wanted to attend the event. So with this in mind, the hotel reached out with a very specific request to Yapsody, requesting us to streamline the check-in process for groups to allow them that all tickets purchased in a booking can be scanned together. So this would not only reduce the wait times, it would also enhance the overall experience for both the guest and the staff that is managing the event. So in response to this, Yapsody has introduced a new enhancement for this existing feature, which now allows for group tickets scanning. So this means that all tickets booked in a single transaction can be scanned at once, which will significantly increase the speed of the check-in process. So this improvement not only saves time, but will also ensure a smoother and a more efficient way for your event experience that is experienced by your guests. So just to give you an idea of how this looks at in the box office account, I'll just share my screen. So as you can see, this is my box office account. I've gone ahead and created an event as my test event. And to go ahead and use the manual scan feature, we just need to simply select the event from the box office. I had a capacity of around 300 and I've sold a few tickets. Once you sell tickets, you'll get to see an option displayed below that is called scan tickets, where you can go ahead and scan the tickets. And if I click on scan tickets for this event, it reveals a page where I can go ahead and see all the bookings done. That includes a transaction, the ticket number, and I can see the option of scanning the tickets. So earlier, the feature was such that you could only scan the tickets individually. So there were multiple tickets, you had to go ahead and scan each ticket individually. But now the enhancement that we have come up with for this feature is you can scan all the tickets. For example, there is a total of 10 tickets in this booking alone. I can go ahead and just click the option of scan, and all the tickets, as you can see, will be scanned immediately. Furthermore, you can also go ahead and unscan the tickets as well. And let's say from this group of tickets, you would just like to individually scan a few tickets, you can also do that as well. So this gives you the option to go ahead and do that. So it's a simple, convenient feature, but it goes ahead and makes the whole process very efficient and easy for all the ticket buyers who are coming to the venue for the tickets to be scanned. Okay. So with this, I conclude about the feature of manual scanning. And let's move on to the next feature that we have in the list, which is schedule performance settings. So in regards to this, as you're aware, while setting up a performance, this is a feature that is already there in the Yapsody system, but we now have done an enhancement for this existing feature. So to give you an example, a leading pub in UK, which is known for hosting multiple live performances, they kind of faced a recurring challenge in managing their events to be published. So each time they had a new performance, they had to manually log in and publish the event for a specific date. So the process was not only time consuming, but it also was kind of prone to human error. And it also increased the risk of missing out on the intended publish date. So recognizing this, what the pub has done is they reached out again to Yapsody for a more efficient solution. They requested for a feature that would allow them to schedule the publishing of performances well in advance. They wanted the ability to set a future date and time for the event to go live, and that would eliminate the need for manual intervention on the actual date of publishing the event. So this would actually ensure that the events were published on time, the ticket sales could begin as planned, and the overall workload for the team could be reduced. So in response to this, what we have done at Yapsody is we have implemented a schedule performance settings feature. So this enhancement allows presenters to now automate the publishing of the event performances on future dates. So let's say, for example, you have an event which is taking place in October and you would like the ticket sales to start in September. You can now go ahead and schedule a performance that can be accomplished now using Yapsody. So I'll just give you an idea of how that looks like on the box office account. Right. So as you can see, this is the again the event that I've created. And regarding the schedule feature, you can just select the event from your box office account. We will edit the event. I'll click on edit again to head to the performances tab. We move on to the performances tab. This is the event which I've already created. Now I would like to add a new performance. So I'll click on add performance. And as I mentioned, as an example, let's say my event is taking place in October the 1st, add in a time. And under more options, we'll select this. And right under ticket sale settings, we got an option now that is schedule performance settings. So you'll be able to just click on this checkbox. And upon selecting it, you'll get an option to add in a date and a time. So for example, as I mentioned, the event over here is on October 1st, and I would like the ticket sales to start, let's say, by September. I'll be able to do so and just select a date, and I'll be able to add a time as well. And then I'll click on add. And as you can see, now we've got a performance that is scheduled. Though the event is actually taking place on October 1st, it's published to go live by September the 2nd. This now eliminates the need for any kind of manual intervention, and it kind of speeds up the process for you as an event presenter to even reduce any kind of mistakes that is done in publishing events. It's a hassle-free experience which you can now go ahead and schedule the performance. So this essentially concludes about the schedule settings performance. We'll now proceed to the next feature that we've implemented. So the next feature, as you can see, is bill payments via credit card and ACH banking. So this is a most requested feature that we've been having from a lot of presenters using our system for kind of automating the process of receiving payments or being deducted directly through their bank account or through the card without having a manual intervention required. So to give you context more about this process and how we have received the problem and this issue faced by presenters, the need to manually log in each time and complete transactions using payment methods added to the operational burden of many event presenters. So this process not only consumed valuable time, but it also introduced the risk of missed payments and created disruptions in the event planning and execution. So recognizing this, the need for a more streamlined payment solution, event presenters requested a facility that would allow them to automate the entire payment process. So they sought for a way to pay invoices directly from their bank accounts, reducing the dependency on manual transactions and minimizing the time spent on managing payments. So in response to this much needed request and this feature that has come from our presenters, Yapsody has now introduced an auto pay feature through your credit card or an ACH banking facility. So this allows you as an event presenter to pay invoices directly from either your credit card or through your bank accounts, simplifying the entire payment process and also enhancing the overall transaction efficiency. So by this enabling this payment method, presenters can now automate their bill payments without having the need for you to manually each time log in and make a payment every time the payment is due. So to give you an understanding how this looks like on the box office account, I will just share my screen. Just allow me a moment. We head back into our box office account, and the option to see the bill payments is again under the billing tab. And then we head on to the payment methods. We have a couple of tabs listed out here. We select payment methods. So this is what it will look like once you log into your account. You will click on add payment mode. And upon clicking this, you'll be redirected to a Stripe checkout page. This is how it will look like. So as you can see, we get the option of card. And for a bank account, this option is available for all the presenters who are using the account where they're selling tickets in the USD currency. So for any presenter that is not doing that, they'll only get to see the card option visible for them. You'll be able to go ahead and save the card details. If you're selecting a bank account, upon clicking bank account, as you can see, there are a number of banks available that you'll be able to choose from. You can also manually enter the details as well to set up the bank account. Once you configure this, it'll reflect back in your payment methods. So you'll be able to choose either the card or the bank account that you have set up for paying the invoice, and you can also choose which method is the preferred method. Let's say, for example, you've configured both the card and the bank account. You'll be able to choose which will be your preferred method for the invoice to be paid using that particular method as a primary mode of payment. So this covers the topic of bill payments. We'll now head to the next feature. Our next feature, as you can see, is the delete ticket type feature. So this has been a most sought after request from a lot of our event presenters who have been using the system. Always there have been requests about presenters reaching out to us for deleting ticket types that they have created accidentally. So let us just get an example of some of the presenters where they have had created multiple ticket types during the event setup process, only to later realize that some of them were unnecessary. So unfortunately, we had a mechanism in the system where the existing system would only allow these ticket types to be disabled. However, they could not be deleted. And the reason for this was because it was affecting the various reports in the system. And that's the reason we were not giving the option to kind of go ahead and delete the ticket type. But this led to a more cluttered and unstructured pricing wizard, making it challenging to manage and organize ticket sales effectively for you as an event presenter. So, to address this, Yapsody has now introduced a new feature that allows presenters like yourself to delete all those unwanted ticket types that you have created accidentally from the event setup. And this enhancement enables presenters like yourself to streamline your ticket options, ensuring that only the relevant and necessary ticket types are visible in your pricing wizard. This will further reduce any kind of clutter, and it simplifies the setup process, helping you to maintain a more organized and efficient event management system. So to give you an idea how this feature now looks like in Yapsody, I'll just bring up my box office account once again. So here we go. Once again, we can see the event that I've created in my test account. I simply select it. I click on the edit option. I head to the pricing tab. Once again, the pricing tab, lessened under it. And for example, as you can see, I've created a couple of ticket types out here, an adult ticket type, a child, a VIP ticket type, and a ticket type labeled as XYZ. So for example, now as an event presenter, I do not wish to have this particular ticket type, that is XYZ. I simply can go ahead and hover the mouse pointer over it, and I'll get an option to go ahead and delete it. As you can see, it allows me to delete it. I click on delete, and now this unwanted ticket type is no longer listed in my existing ticket types. However, to note over here, there's an important note that let's say, for example, you have gone ahead and you have made a booking using that particular ticket type. The system would still once again give you a limitation for not deleting it. You would simply get the option to disable that particular ticket type. Again, the reason being as it would affect the various reports in your account. And that's the reason we only give you the option to kind of delete, to disable that particular ticket type if a booking has been made using it. If a no booking has been made for that particular ticket type, you definitely get the option to go ahead and delete it, as you just seen on the box office account. So this concludes the topic of the deletion of a ticket type. We'll head on to the next feature. Our next feature is a very important feature that's been requested for some of the presenters, especially from the theaters organization. This is BOCA and thermal printers. So this option is now been added and implemented on to the Yapsody interface. So to give you context about this, I'll be sharing an example about event presenters who have faced challenges when it came to printing tickets, especially when they were trying to use BOCA or thermal printers. Essentially, our existing system lacked a seamless integration with these specialized printers, which was making it difficult to print high quality tickets efficiently. And this limitation forced presenters to rely on an alternate method, which was either less efficient or either more cumbersome, which was resulting in more operational inefficiencies and delays in ticket distribution. So the presenters requested an ability to print BOCA and thermal tickets directly through the box office interface, and they wanted a straightforward solution that would allow them to connect their BOCA or thermal printers and able to select the appropriate printer settings and print tickets without any technical complications. So Yapsody has now, in response to it, introduced the ability to print BOCA and thermal tickets directly through the box office interface. You, as an event presenter, will be able to use this feature. Users simply need to download and install a few necessary drivers for the BOCA or thermal printers. Once the drivers are installed, the printer will appear in the printer and scanner settings for the device. And then you can go ahead and connect your device either through a USB or through wireless connectivity. Once the connection is established, you can select the specific printer name, the desired paper size while printing tickets, and you'll be able to go ahead and issue and print out tickets. This new capability now streamlines the ticket printing process, making it more efficient and more user-friendly for event presenters. So we've made it easier for event presenters like yourself to manage your ticket printing needs, ensuring a smooth and professional experience. To give you an idea of how this looks like on your box office account, I'll just bring up my screen once again. So as we see, this is the box office account, my test account, and I'll be going into the settings tab. And from here, we'll be heading on to the tab that is labeled as ticket settings, which is just below the questionnaires tab. So from here, we see there's an option called ticket settings. It's box office ticket template types, and there's a drop down available. So the primary mode of ticket types is the e-ticket, which is normally sent to the customer once they select the option of print an email at the online store. And then we have the options of BOCA ticket and the option of thermal ticket as well, which is listed now at the box office. So you, as a presenter who would like to give out or print tickets with either of these ticket type templates, you're now able to do so using your box office account. And just a quick tip I would like to share about the BOCA printer is there are a lot of event presenters who have been using a specific type of printer from BOCA, which is called the BOCA Lemur printer. So BOCA Lemur printers usually cost in the range of $1,000, with the ticket stock costing about $23 for 1,000 tickets. So we have a partner with a BOCA rep right now. In case you're looking to order or the printer and supplies, if you would like to reach out, we definitely have a partner with a BOCA rep right now who can do that, and you can avail the printer for a discounted price as well. That was just to give you information about the kind of templates, and in case if you are wishing to have your ticket type settings done with either of these templates as well. So this essentially covers the topic of BOCA printers. We'll now head on to the next topic. So the next feature, as you can see, is INFOR hotel management. This is a very significant feature that we have launched at Yapsody. And to give you an idea of what exactly this option is, this payment gateway is, I'll explain in detail. So essentially, hotels and resorts who have been using INFOR HMS faced a couple of challenges when it came to offering a seamless payment experience for their guests who are purchasing event tickets. So guests normally had to go through separate payment processes, which added unnecessary steps and inconvenience to the guest and also to the staff that was listed at the hotel. And it complicated the guest experience, increased the workload for hotel staff where they had to manage multiple payment gateway options separately. And the lack of integration between purchasing tickets and billing the room in which the buyer was staying led to a lot of inefficiencies in the system. So recognizing this, to streamline the process, a lot of hotels and resorts requested for an integration for INFOR HMS, that is INFOR Hotel Management System, and Yapsody, which would allow the guests to charge the ticket purchases directly to the room accounts. So this means that it would eliminate the need for separate payment purchases and provide a more unified and convenient experience for the guests. This means, let's say, for an example, a user came up to a venue, was staying at a hotel, and they booked a room at that hotel, and now they came to know that there's an event taking place in the same premise at the hotel. And if, let's say, they wanted to go ahead and book tickets for that event, they could just simply reach out to the reception desk at the hotel, and the receptionist would be able to go ahead and guide them that they can now purchase tickets using the INFOR payment method, where the booking price would be directly added onto the room charges. That means only at the checkout they'll be able to pay the amount directly. So without the need and the hassle of going through multiple payment methods, this actually kind of streamlined the whole process. So in response to this, Yapsody has integrated INFOR HMS, which now allows ticket purchases to be conveniently charged directly to a guest room account, and it allows the guest to simply provide the room number at the time of purchase. The ticket cost is automatically added to the room bill. So this feature is globally now available for all transactions done in United States currency dollar, offering a seamless and a hassle-free payment option. So to give you an idea of how this looks like on the box office account, I'll once again bring up my screen. As you can see, my box account is visible right now. So I'll head back into the settings tab. And where we normally configure the payment gateway options is listed just under general settings. We head to the accept payments tab. This being my test account, I've gone ahead and configured a couple of it. But you as an event presenter, if you would like to configure INFOR HMS payment gateway, you can just click on add payment method. And from the drop down, it'll be this option listed right here. I've already gone and configured INFOR HMS, and I've renamed it as a Yapsody Hotel. So this is how it would look like once you configure. You'll get the credentials from HMS, from INFOR. You'll be able to locate those credentials and add that to your Yapsody account, and it'll be configured onto the account. To give you an idea of how this now looks like, if you would like to make a booking using this payment method, I'll head back to the box office account. I'll select the event. I'll click on tickets. And let's say I would like to book 2 tickets. You can choose the kind of ticket type. Let's say it's an adult and a child. I click on checkout. And this information, as you can see, you can always keep it as optional through the box office account. You as an event presenter do not have to fill in this information each time. But if you scroll below, when you choose the kind of payment method, once we come to this section, from the drop down, I'll get to see all the payment methods that I have added to my test account. And I'll also get to see the option of Yapsody Hotel. This is the INFOR payment gateway that I've added. So as soon as I select this option, you get to see there's a prompt that comes up just below it, providing the option to add in room number. So essentially, this would be the room number that the guest is staying in at. So the guest that has arrived at your hotel, who has made a booking in the hotel, their room number is something that they would be providing you with. So for an example, I can just add in a room number, and you can see the name is auto-populated. It will automatically pick up the name of the user that is staying in that particular room. And that's how you can just go ahead and proceed to make a payment. It's as simple as that to go ahead and configure this. And the entire charge again goes back to your INFOR HMS payment account. And in this way, the customer is charged directly on their actual checkout bill that they receive at the time of exiting or checking out of the venue of the hotel, and they don't have to go through the hassle of separate payment methods where they have to pay to different streams and you have to keep a tab on each stream. So this feature is definitely beneficial for anyone who is going to be having any kind of events in this manner. That's how you'll be able to go ahead and configure this onto your Yapsody account. Mhm. So this concludes the topic about INFOR HMS. Let's move on to our next feature. Our next feature, as you can see, is the Get Ticket button customization. This again is a much requested feature for most of our presenters who have been using our system over the years. Uh, Event presenters faced limitations when it came to tailoring the user experience on their event pages. So by default, there's always a Get Tickets button at your online store, which is, while functional, it did not always align to the branding or the specific messaging for each particular event. So this lack of customization made it challenging for event presenters to create a fully cohesive and personalized event experience for their ticket buyers. So the presenters needed a better way to align this to their event's unique tone and branding. So based on this request, they had a request to rename the Get Tickets button to better match the branding and the specific messaging of the events. The presenters wanted a feature which would allow them to customize the text of the button and which would resonate more effectively with the target audience and it would go well with the overall theme of the event. So the goal was to provide a flexible option that could be tailored to each individual event, enhancing the user experience and encouraging ticket purchases. So in response to this, Yapsody has now gone ahead and introduced the feature to customize the Get Tickets button, which will allow you as an event presenter to personalize the button for each event. So for specific events, you can go ahead and you'll be able to customize the Get Ticket button. So it matches the kind of theme and the layout that you're going for each event. So to give you an idea of how this looks like, how you can configure it, I'll bring up my box office account. As we can see, we're back in our box office account. And to use this feature, I'll just be selecting the event that I've created. I'll edit it to make changes for the event. I'll then be moving on to the Customize tab. I'll click on it. And under the Customize tab, we have two more tabs. That is e-ticket, where you normally make changes to the e-ticket. And the second tab, that is web page. So under the web page tab, if we scroll right to the bottom, you can see there's now an option to customize the Get Tickets button. So by default, it is always selected as Get Tickets, but you can now select the other option and add in any kind of text out here. It could be sign up, it could be register, it could be any other kind of button text that you would like to showcase for that event. So it corresponds to the event that you're hosting. And once you add that information, you just need to click on the Save and Proceed button. So to give you an idea how this looks like at an online store, I'll just share the online store as well. So this is the online store of my test account. This is the event that I've published online. So as a customer, I'll go ahead and click on More Info. I'll get to see the details for the event. And now I can see the text that I've entered. It has replaced the Get Tickets button, and I've entered in the specific text out here, which is register in this particular font, as you can see. So the customer will now be able to go ahead and click on the register button. So this kind of resonates more with the kind of event that you're hosting. And the best part about it is that it can be done for each individual event. So there might be certain events where you would require the Get Ticket button, but there might be certain events where you would like the sign up button or the register button or any other kind of customized text that you would like to offer. So we come to conclusion for this particular feature. And now heading on to our next feature, which is primarily the last feature that we have for today. It's remove power up by Yapsody on your calendar and listing widget. So for many of you who don't know, we have already introduced a widget functionality where you can now go ahead and showcase your events in a calendar or listing view through your personal website. And this feature has been a requested feature by many event presenters using our system. Furthermore, we have now got a request from presenters to make an enhancement to this feature. So we will talk about what was the request essentially. Presenters who have been using this feature on Yapsody wanted to display their events through their official websites, which had a seamless integration with the tools offered through this branding. However, they had some kind of concerns which showed that the powered by Yapsody branding that appeared on the widgets. And with this branding, they wanted to highlight the platform behind the events. It didn't always align with the presenter's desire for a fully branded and cohesive look on their personal websites. So this limitation kind of hindered some presenters from achieving a brand centric presentation. Essentially, they wanted to have to showcase their own branding through the widget option without having the powered by Yapsody text displayed on that particular widget. So in response to this, Yapsody has gone ahead and we've introduced a new configurable option, which now allows you as an event presenter to choose whether or not to display the powered by Yapsody branding on both the calendar and the listing widget. So this feature gives you full control of the branding of each of the widgets, enabling you to remove the branding if you wish, and also ensuring a more cohesive and branded experience on your official website. So to give you an idea how this looks like at your box office account, I'll share my screen once again. So once again, we're back in the box office account. And to go to the calendar and listing widget, I'll head into the settings tab once again. We then go into the widgets tab. And as you can see, we have the listing widget that's populated. To actually go ahead and add the listing widget onto your personal website, there would be a code that is generated. You just need to copy this code and paste it onto your website. And the preview in the preview mode, this is how it would look like on your website. The customer will click on get tickets and will be redirected to your online store to make a booking. However, as you can see, there was also the text that was listed powered by Yapsody. So with the requests that came in through a lot of the presenters, we have now made option to configure this, where we have given you the option to either add this. There's a button called enable powered by Yapsody branding. So there's a checkbox essentially. If I uncheck it, we now get to see that the text has been displayed. It's that's been displayed is now disappeared from the preview as well. And the same is with the calendar widget as well. This is how it looks like on the preview mode. This is the event. And just below, you get to see the option of powered by Yapsody. You now get an option to go ahead and remove this particular text from the widget. And the entire widget will now look a more brand centric without having the text displayed at your official website. So this brings to conclusion end of this particular feature as well. I will now hand it over back to Gavin to share more insights about Yapsody and the features that we have.
Thank you so much, Clint, for giving so descriptive, you know, so detailed presentation about all the new features and announcement which we did in this quarter. So thank you so much. And I think with this detailed information, presenters who are going to go through this recording as well after this session, they'll be able to correlate if they are also having the same challenges. And if they're facing the same challenges, we have given the solution now, so they can adopt the feature and the announcement which we have released. So thank you so much for giving the detailed presentation. Now I will move on to the best practices. Before moving on to the best practices, I need to cover the question and answers. So like on this call we have Paige, and I think we also have you know Ranjit on the call. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, like you can just speak to us. You can ask the question so that we can get it addressed. Hi Paige. Hi Rajneet. Ranjit, sorry. So do you guys have any questions? All right, Paige is not able to, I think, like speak out on the call due to some problem, network problem, I think, on the headset. So he doesn't have any question. All right. So even if you have any questions, like the chat room is open, so you can add your question if it comes to you. All right, Ranjit, thanks. Like Ranjit also doesn't have any questions so far. So we will move on to the other part of this webinar. So let me touch base the best practice and the tips. Like the objective of this webinar is to also give you the best practice and the tips. So the number one the tips I would like to give you is like leverage our chat support. So we have a 24/7 chat support for you as well as for your ticket buyers. So if you have any issues, leverage it, talk to them, get the resolution. That is the number one tip. Number second tip is like Yapsody blogs. So we have created Yapsody blogs for you, wherein like whenever new feature or any new announcement we release, we ensure that a blog is written. So the way Clint explained you the problem statement, and the request which the presenter made and the solution which we gave, we convert this into a blog, in a detailed blog, so that presenters like you can read it and adopt the feature. So I would suggest you to go through the blog. And in fact, I'm going to show you where you can go and join the blog. So under the resource section on Yapsody ticketing, you can go and scroll down to Yapsody blogs. So our marketing team and our success team, we take each and every feature into account, and we ensure that the blogs are written. So you can read all the blogs. We write each and every aspect of the feature in detail. So this is where you can go through the blogs. And then the important part, you know the next step is like going through Yapsody private demo. So let's say like in this webinar, the objective of the webinar is to give you information about new feature and the announcement we did in this quarter. But if you still want a personalized demo wherein you want to learn something, something new which you want to adopt as a feature, you can go ahead and set up a demo. So on the ticketing page, if you go, there is a button called book a demo. You need to click on that, and you can speak, you can register for a demo directly with our customer success team, and you can write in detail like what exactly you're looking for. So here you can go and book a demo. So leverage this and adopt the product. And then finally we have knowledge database, which is like a kind of knowledge repository for you. And we have a clear structure we have created, wherein like we have segmented the knowledge database into three categories. The number one category is new presenter get started. So if you are a new presenter, or even if you're an existing presenter, you can go through this section and understand how to get started. If you're already an existing presenter, we have managing events. So in each events, we have, in each category we have sections like invoice section, payment gateway, account setting, event setup, reserve seating, revamp reserve seating. So any new feature we launch, we ensure that the article is written about how to use that feature. So from this knowledge database, you can try to understand how to set up a particular feature. And also for your buyers, we have created a section. So if your buyers, if they go through any problem, like they want to know how to get a refund, how to get a ticket, they can follow this section and get an answer to the question. So leverage this. This is very important knowledge database. You can even self onboard yourself by going through this knowledge database. So this was the best practice which I wanted to share. And then let me show you the current offerings we have for the event presenter. So there is a referral program which we are currently running. So under the referral program, let's say if you invite any presenter to use Yapsody, and if they sign up with Yapsody, and if they generate an invoice, okay, let's say the invoice generation is $1,000. So you get a 10% commission out of it. So you'll get $100. So whatever invoice you generated, let's say your invoice generated was around $500, you'll get a discount of 100 on that 500. So you just have to pay $400. So that is the benefit of referral program. And if you are interested, if you want to learn about the referral program, we would suggest you to go and register for the referral program. So how you can do it, you go to the website, click on refer and earn, and then there is a button called set up a call. So you can set up a call with us, and we will explain you the procedure, the terms and condition of the Yapsody referral program. And then we have 40% discount for farm event presenter. So if you are a farm event presenter, then if you have someone who is a farm event presenter, you can even refer to them. They will get a 40% discount as well. And there is a 50% rebate for non-profit. So if there is someone like who is a non-profit, they get a 50% rebate. So these are the current offerings we have at this point. And yeah. So with this, I complete the whole, session. Like we have completed the Yapsody quarter 3 feature request and announcement, webinar. So do you guys have any question on this? Thanks, Ranjit. Paige, I think you have already participated in the referral program. So if you have any questions, you can put it on the chat page so that we can address it for you. If there is no questions, then we will conclude the webinar. Thanks, Paige, for your response. So thank you so much, Clint. Thank you so much, Ronnie, for joining this webinar and participating in this webinar and giving valuable information to our presenters. So catch you later in the next webinar.
Yeah.
Have a great day ahead.
Sure.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.